This call is now being recorded.
Okay, good afternoon, friends. Last lecture we have seen ethics in managing. We have seen various aspects of ethics like individual perspective ethics, then family ethics, ethics violations aspects we have seen like piracy related issue, corruption related issue, and pollution related issue, right? So these ethics related aspects we have seen in last lecture, and we started discussion on planning. We seen the what is the exact meaning of planning, right? So how planning should be done. Then we discussed the various types of plan like financial plan, non-financial plan, standing and ad hoc plan. Then we have seen formal and informal plan. Then we seen short range and long range plan. Then we seen administrative and operational plan. So these many plans we seen, and later on at the end of previous lecture we seen the various steps or process in planning, right? So 8 steps we have seen, and we started discussion on what is exactly meaning of decision, how decision making should be done, right? Why it is important, how many characteristics are there, right? So we discussed that characteristics. We seen factors of decision making also, right? Perception, priority, acceptability, risk, resources, goals, values, demands, styles, and judgment. So these many factors you should consider while making the decision that we see in last lecture, right? So today we are going to discuss this 6 C's of decision making, and afterwards we'll see types of decision, you can say, and otherwise that classification also you can say, like there are 7 to 8 types that we are going to discuss, and at the end we'll see one content behind, and we'll discuss MCQs. Okay, so that may be helpful for your this tomorrow's test. So if possible, I'll release the link today. If not, tomorrow 1 hour you will get during lecture for the your UT1. Okay. So friends, let us discuss these 6 C's of decision making. Friends, construct, compile, collect, compare, consider, and commit. So these 6 C's are there here. So let us discuss one by one. While making decision, you should construct a clear picture of precisely what must be decided. Before deciding, in your mind or whatever in your on paper also, sometime you can construct a clear picture. So what you want to decide first, clear picture should be there, and that must be constructed maybe in mind, maybe on paper. Okay, so this is the first step, you can say. So this is a very important C out of the these 6 C's for decision making. Then you have to compile a list of requirements that must be met. You have to compile a list of requirements that must be met. So you have to start making a list, and you have to write like this thing I want to meet. This is a requirement of organization, and this should be made through this kind of decision. So you have to start making list. The next C is collect the information on alternative that meet the requirements. You have to start collecting the information of alternatives, पर्याय म्हणू शकता, or options you can say. So start collecting information of options that meet the requirements. Actually, you are making decision for requirement only. Some requirement is there, that's why you are doing the decision. Then you have to compare the alternative that made the requirement. What you have to do, you have to compare the alternative. Now you have collected so many alternatives, you have so many options you have collected. Now you have to compare it. You have to compare the alternative that must meet the requirement. Then you have to consider the what might go wrong for each of the alternative. Suppose you have seen A, B, C, D alternatives, right? And you have compared also. But you have to consider one more aspect, like if I choose this alternative, what might go wrong? Something may be wrong. So you have to find out that aspects. right? So that factor you can say you have to consider. If I choose that alternative, what might go wrong? If I choose B option, what might go wrong, right? So that you have to consider. And definitely, if there are so many things will go wrong, then you will not consider that alternative, right? And last one is that you have to commit to a decision and follow through with it. Once that your alternative is ready, that option is ready, that you have chosen as a decision, you have to commit for that and you have to follow. You should not change that particular uh, whatever options or alternative you have chosen. You should commit for that. You should not change that decision at the end. You should be firm on your decision, right? So these C's are very important while making decisions. Generally, people follow construct, compile, collect, compare, consider, and commit. Right. So these six C's are very much essential while making a decision. Okay. So I hope I given the guidelines to make decision in organization. For that purpose, these six C's will very much helpful for you people. Okay. Anything you want to ask related to these six C's? No. Shall we proceed for further bit? Because one more interesting types are there. Decision making types of decision. Shall we proceed? Okay. So friends, there are various types of decision. So based on requirement, people make the various decisions are required in various field in the organization. Maybe at administrative level, you should take decision at policy at top level management. You need to take decision for policy or routine decisions on shop floor like that. So various types of decisions are there. Let us discuss these decisions one by one. First type of decision is basic decision or strategic decision. Second decision is administrative decision. Next one is organizational or personal decision. Then policy of decisions. Then individual and group decision, routine decision, and adaptive decision. So there are almost 7 types of decisions. Let us discuss one by one what it means. First type, basic decision or strategic decision. So friend, all basic decisions are strategic decision involving two things. One thing is that large range of commitment are there and large investment is there. What is the meaning of basic decision or strategic decision? It involves large range of commitments and large investments. So what is its meaning? Large, I will give one example for you. A large range of commitments means, for example, you have given commitment to Tata Motors, like I will give 1000 castings of your alloy wheel per day. Okay, this is a commitment, and suppose it is for 10 years. So its meaning is that large range commitment. And for that, remember, you are committing large amount of product or commitment is there, like I will provide so and so component, so and so alloy wheels every day, per month, per year, like that. For that purpose, you should have large investment. And such a decisions are called as a basic decision or strategic decision. Generally, basic decision is the good word people use for it. So this is a basic decision. But remember, this is having limitation. So what is the limitation? If slight or small mistake in this decision would seriously injure the entire organization. Very small, slight mistake if happens, you have committed 1000 alloy wheel, I will give. But if you are not able to give only 10 out of it, it is a small mistake. But can you understand how much loss will be Tata Motors will have? Huge loss, right? So these basic decisions are long term. For that purpose, you should be committed. Obviously, investment you have made. So if small mistake is there in a basic decision, it is not allowed. Even it happens, so there will be the large loss to both of the organizations, and it is a long term loss, right? So you have to consider this basic decision seriously, and you have to take the decision. Even it looks like basic decision means you may think like it is a very general decision. Let it be happen anything from this, as it is word meaning. If you will take, it looks very simple, right? Basic decision, something basic mistake is there, people excuse or neglect. But here in basic decision, slight mistake is also not allowed, because if even slight mistake happen, serious injury will be there to entire organization, both the organization, supplier as well as who is purchasing that, getting. So this is the one type of decision. Second type of decision is a administrative decision. So there are two types: programmed decision and non-programmed decision. So programmed decision involves organizations developed a specific process for handling decision. What is meaning of programmed decision? Organization is having developed a specific process for handling particular decision. They have certain program for that particular decision. Certain procedure is there. Suppose there is a breakdown in CNC machine. What is the program decision? Immediately a third party like AMC person should be called on that day, and that person should start immediately working on it. It is a program, right? So it is already defined. Organization is already developed. Like if something breakdown happen, whom to contact? AMC person. Contact number is already written. Call to that person. AMC means annual maintenance contract is there generally for maintenance. So calling to that person, this is a, you can say like program. It is already there. Even sometime machine will also in future will call that this AMC person. I am having some trouble. Please call me. So such a activities you can say program decision. Then non-programmed decision. So from name itself indicates there is no you can say like strict programs, or it is strict schedule is not there. So it relates to general problem solving process. So suppose machine is making noise, right? So your person, your operator will make judgment, or he will use his creativity or intuition. Machine is making noise, something wrong is there. What to do? I think vibration related problem is there. Some nut bolts are not tight. So he will make tightening and all these, right? So this comes under the non-programmed decisions. Getting? So through judgment, through intuition, अंतर्ज्ञान म्हणतो आपण. एखाद्याला वाटलं बाबा इथं काहीतरी प्रॉब्लेम होणार आहे, आवाज मारायला लागली मशीन. For that purpose, there is no AMC, right? But just by judgment, just make tightening of nut bolts, right? Sometime at our home also we do this, right? Our bike is making some noise, some vibration, right? We understand some nut bolt is some problem is there, right? And we tighten it, and we continue, right? So such a decisions are non-programmed decision. These are very famous type in the organization. Third type of decision is organizational decision, personal decision. So organizational decision reflects company policy. They can be delegated or transferred to others. Organizational decision means a decision taken by top level management of the organization. And if top level management is taking some decision, means it is a policy, right? We have to understand. If somebody is taking top CEO is taking, or directors are taking some decision, is nothing but policy ultimately, right? And such a decisions, such a activities can be delegated or transferred to others also. For example, top level management decided something, any policy in the organization, like we should recruit the manpower, that is decision at organizational level. So this CEO or that director will not go for campus drive or a recruitment process. Who has to handle this? HR manager, right? So that authority is delegated. Its meaning is that authority is transferred to other. Yes, they have taken decision at top level. This is a policy, like this month 10 people should be recruited. It is decided, or every month 10 people should be recruited, like that. Policy is there. So this should be handled by HR department, means that authority is delegated or transferred to other. Delegated meaning is transferred to others. So such a decisions are organizational decision. And personal decision refers to those made by the managers as an individual, and these can't be delegated. Suppose one manager decides the so and so person is not working properly, not coming regularly, always rejection rate is there, right? So he's not concentrating on work. He has decided, ask that person to resign or leave the organization through on paper or some process, whatever is there in organization they follow. So it's that manager's role, right? Or it's his decision, personal decision, right? It is not organization's decision. That particular person, that manager has taken decision, and it cannot be delegated. He सांगू शकत नाही त्याला काढून टाक रे. Another manager will not take responsibility of it. It's his decision. It's his personal decision. It cannot be delegated. It cannot be transferred to any other. So such decisions are called as a personal decision. Okay. Then third type of decision is a policy decision. So generally policy decisions are taken at top level management. Who are the policy makers? Top management of that particular organization. So for example, the bonus of the company is decided, like this year we should pay bonus to our employees. Now whose role is to calculate how much, who should get how much bonus? So it is a role of remaining people, those who are working in administrative field, right? So distributing to actual employees. Getting, so they will take lower level management help, and they will distribute to all the people. So this is the meaning of policy decision. They have taken a decision in their meeting, top level management. We should give the bonus to our employees, right? So this is a policy. Such kind of decisions are called as a policy decisions. Then individual and group decision. The decision taken by the individual in the organization is individual decision. Name itself indicates what is the meaning of individual decision. For example, somebody decide, like a supervisor in shop floor decide, this today we should make oiling or greasing to machineries. It's his individual decision. For that purpose, there is no policy for that, right? He think like machine is making noise, some problem is there, this corrosion is there, something he decides. I am telling one example, right? So I hope through one example you will understand clearly. So it's supervisors, that individual role is there, right? He decided that, right? Then group decision. Another decision is a group decision. A group decision is nothing but decision which are taken by a group of organizational member. So that group may be board of directors or committee experts, maybe that departments, all supervisors. So if they take decision collectively, so such a decisions are called as a group decisions. Okay. Then routine decision. The decision made when problems are relatively well defined and common, and then established rules, policies, and procedures can be used to solve them. So as a very nice example of audit, right? So audit is a very nice example of routine decision. You have decided like there must be a internal audit. So you have decided 3 month, 4 month, or yearly, half yearly, quarterly. If you have decided, so such a decisions if you have taken, it comes under the routine decision. Then say what last type is almost we have covered all. Adaptive decision. So this is a little complicated kind of decision you can say. So this type of decision made when problems and alternative solutions are somewhat unusual and only partially understood. Means you have not understood problem also and you have not understood solution also, and their solutions are a little unusual. So complicated problems are there, solutions you are not able to understand, or you partially understood that particular problem and you have taken decision. You have not understood fully. You have not understood totally. You understood that problem only partially, and you thought like solution is also somewhat unusual. Regular solution is not there to such kind of problem. In that situation, whatever decisions you take, so such decisions are called as a adaptive decision. Okay, so these are the types of decisions. We have seen basic decision, strategic decision, administrative decision, organizational or personal decision, policy of decision, then individual and group decision, routine decision, and adaptive decision. Okay, so these seven types of decisions we have seen. Getting anything anybody want to ask? Have you understood such a kind of decision? Actually, just category we have made. Decision is not in मराठी तुम्ही म्हणू शकता की आपण निर्णय घ्यायचा आहे. कुठल्याही सिच्युएशन मध्ये घेतलेला निर्णय हा इंडस्ट्रीमध्ये बरोबर असायला हवा. For that purpose, we have discussed like how many process you should follow, what are the rules, right? And if you know the types of decision, you will take correct decisions in future. Okay, anything anybody want to ask related to this point? Otherwise, we'll see the last point, that is content beyond syllabus, and we'll discuss later on MCQs. Shall we proceed? Okay. So, friends, there are 7 steps of strategic planning. So, this is a very interesting point, and intentionally I have chosen as a content beyond for you. So, planning, simple planning we have seen, right? In industry, planning is required, but this strategic planning, a new concept is there in industry. So, let us discuss about this. So, what is the basic principle of this particular strategic planning? Is only like quality for customer satisfaction. If you have proper planning, then definitely you can give quality to customer and he will satisfy. So basic concept of strategic planning is to give quality to customer and satisfy the customer. Okay, so let us discuss one by one these 7 steps. So first step is there, that is customer needs. First step in strategic planning is a customer needs. So it is a planner's role, those who are making planning. So that planner must find the future needs of customer. What he has to do? He has to find the future need of the customer and who will be the customers. Who will be your customer in future? Then what exactly they want? Means in short, I will say like customer needs, finding customers need, that is planner's job at the beginning. So this first step is there in strategic planning, customer needs, right? Finding the customer's needs. Then next one is that customer positioning. Customer positioning means relation of customer. How will be the relation with your customer? Getting so finding that positioning relation is the customer positioning. Then next step is that predicting the future. Predicting the future means काय म्हणू शकतो आपण भविष्यात अंदाज घ्यायचा. In future, what will be the effect of product? In future, what will be the effect of product? Whose effect? Society's effect, customers effect, right? So that effect you have to predict. You have to predict the what will be effect on our product, or you can say like how many external factors will affect on your product. What are those external factors? Maybe your customer, competitors, right? So predicting the future for customer, product, services, right? Another step is there, finding the or doing the gap analysis. So planner's role is here, like while planning, he has to find out the gap. Which kind of gap? Current state of the organization and future state of the organization. Planner has to consider this. He has to understand like today 5 crore turnover is there. And in future, suppose he has to make 7 crore turnover. What is the gap? 2 crore rupees gap is there, right? So example I am telling. So he has to make the gap analysis like in future, this will be the state, current, this is the state, and he has to understand if I want to reach to 2 crore rupees additionally, then I have to consider that aspect in my planning. Getting so this is a very essential factor in a strategic planning, that finding the gap analysis, and that person has to close the gap. In fifth step is there, closing the gap. So what he has to do? He has to plan properly by considering all stakeholders. Stakeholders means his investors, his employees, his managers, right? And he has to close the gap. How he has to close the gap? He has to plan accordingly, and then he has to close that particular gap. Then whatever plan he has made by involving all stakeholders and by considering current situation, future situation or future state of the organization, he has to do alignment of that particular plan with the vision, mission, values of the organization. Yes, he has made a plan, very nice. But whether that plan is in line with vision of that organization, mission of that organization, values of that particular organization. So checking that is alignment. And at the last step is a implementation. So implementation involves monitoring activity of planned things. Means whatever plans you have made and you have aligned with your visions and missions of your organization, then you have to monitor that activity, means controlling. Monitoring activity means controlling activity, and you have to check whether everything is happening according to plan or not. So that is the implementation. So these are the basic steps of the strategic planning. Getting so this is the content behind, but very essential. Generally, these many things while planning, you have to consider so many points. So I have told to consider in future like customer need, customer positioning, predicting the future, finding the gap, closing the gap, making alignment, and at the last, implementing the plan. Getting so these are the steps in a strategic plannings. Yes, anybody want to ask anything? Have you understood this? Shall we proceed? Okay. So let us discuss some of the MCQs. So I request everybody to concentrate, focus on this discussion because these MCQs are useful for tomorrow's examination, that unit test, and for your last examination and for ISC also. Okay. So let us discuss one by one. Is my screen visible to everybody? Can you read these MCQs? So I will enlarge it, okay, so that it will be visible to everybody. I have made it full screen. Still I will make enlarge. So I request everybody to focus. These MCQs are asked in previous examinations, and maybe the same MCQs may be there in some of the examinations like unit test, your ISC, and last examination. Okay. So let us discuss one by one. Some questions are looking means complicated also. First question is there. Dash dash is defined as the discipline dealing with what is good and what is bad, and with moral duty and obligation. Options are rule, organization culture, protocol, and ethics. So you can put your opinion in chat box, like reading question carefully and then putting that option in chat box. What will be your answer? Can somebody will put your guess? We have seen in discussion like discipline dealing with what is good and what is bad, and with moral duty and obligation. So you have to fill in the blank. Any guess? Anybody? Anybody else? Anybody want to contribute? We have seen in ethics in managing, right? So ethics in managing, before that we seen the meaning of ethics. So friend, answer is a ethics. Okay, ethics is nothing but the discipline dealing with what is wrong or what is good and what is bad, with moral duty and obligation. Obligation म्हणजे जबाबदारी म्हणू शकतो आपण. मोरल ड्युटी जिथं येते तिथं इथिक्स असतात, राईट. सो आन्सर इज इथिक्स. So rule you cannot say it is mandatory, right? So there is a difference between ethics and rules. Next question is dash dash involves introduction of new employees to the enterprise, its function, task, and people. Fill in the blank involves introduction of new employees to the enterprise, its function, task, and people. So friends, you may have seen when you entered in first year. So there was the orientation program, right? For you, we introduced all departments, all labs, right? Before starting any lectures. Before starting any lectures, we introduced all teachers, right? So in industry also same thing is happening. Whenever you will join any of the organization, so it is manager's role where you will join, who will be your reporting person, maybe supervisor. His role is to introduce yourself, with enterprise, and he has to introduce what function is there, what task you have to do, and he has to introduce all people, team members, so that activity is there whenever you will join any of the organization. So can somebody will put the option, at least after discussion these many things? And what is the probation? Planning, everybody is knowing. Orienting, meaning I have told. Probation is nothing but maybe it is a exam period, you can say, or if you join any of the organization first 2 year 1 month, right? So probation periods are there in job. And acclimation means you can say exact meaning of acclimation is like नवीन हवामानाशी जुळून वगैरे घेण्याची प्रक्रिया जी म्हणतो आपण त्याला acclimation म्हणतात. But these things are not relevant. Are you listening? Okay. So any guess? Can somebody will put in chat box? So orienting is the option, right? Answer for it. So orienting involves introduction of new employees to the enterprise, its function, task, and people. त्याला ओरिएंटेशन प्रोग्राम किंवा ओरिएंटिंग म्हणलं जातं. Then next, third, the amount of working capital depends dash dash upon the volume of the business. Very generalized question. The amount of working capital depends directly upon the volume of the business. As you know, working capital requirement is more when your business is very large. So a very generalized question. Fourth question is there, which skills are of greatest importance for top management? Top management, what is expecting from any of the employee? Yes, humans options are human related skill, conceptual skill, technical skill, organizing skills. But out of these four, where top management is giving greatest importance? Friends, technical skill, right? So technical skills, top management is always expecting. Then fifth number, dash dash involves establishing the amount of work to be done and the time when each element of the work will start. Any guess? Establishing the amount of work to be done means in future, what should be done in future. So if future thing is related, then you have to understand planning is a right answer for it, because planning is only right, Shantanu. So planning is done in advance always for future. Next, sixth question. Dash dash involves selecting a mission, an objective, and the action to achieve them. इथं पण selection of mission, objective, and the action to achieve them. So here also it comes under the planning. 7 number question. Entrepreneurial role, disturbance handler role are dash dash managerial roles. So here take the meaning like if disturbance is happened in organization, so which roles plays very important here? That is the meaning of this particular question. Like interpersonal, informational, decision, leading. Friend, little confusing question. Interpersonal, everybody is knowing. Meaning of interpersonal is communicating the people, right? That's that skill, you can say. That role, interpersonal role, means communicating with people. That activity is interpersonal role, right? Informational, just information, no. Decision, right? So something disturbances happen, you may take decision or you may lead. So out of these four options, interpersonal, informational, and leading, there is no relation with if something disturbances happen. If something disturbances happen, you should be capable for decision. So means decision managerial role is very important. So answer is a C. 8th number question. What are the 3 interpersonal roles of manager? So I have told what is the meaning of interpersonal role. Interpersonal role means communicating with people. That skill you can say. That role you can say communicate. So what are these three options they have given? So let me say meaning of a figurehead. Figurehead, the front line person. That figurehead person means always front man for every activity. He figurehead. That is the interpersonal. What is the meaning of leader? Those who direct. And liaison means exact meaning of liaison is that in Marathi you can say liaisonचा संपर्क अधिकारी वगैरे म्हणतो आपण संपर्क or reporting person you can say. So I hope I could explain these three. Next one is that spokesperson, leader, coordinator, माहित आहे, director, everybody is knowing. Coordinators, again same word. Disseminator means just who is passing the information and distributing the information or data in the among the people. Disseminator, just passing, nothing else. Like postman you can say. Postman is a better example of disseminator. He collect the parcels and disseminate to a society who is having that particular letter. He disseminate to that. Then communicator means giving the information, and if that person is asking, responding to it. So communicator. Organizer means task, distributing the activities, and spokesperson means वक्ता वगैरे म्हणू शकता. So now here out of this little big question, so what is asked? What are the 3 interpersonal role of the manager? You have to choose one option. Every option is having 3 roles. Can somebody is able to guess? I have explained all terminologies. Almost all words are new for you. Any guess? You can put in chat box. Okay, Pawan is telling like D option, communicator, organizer, spokesperson. So spokesperson का नाहीये? Spokesperson म्हणजे नुसता वक्ता आहे. वक्त्याचं काय तो इंटरपर्सनल मध्ये येत नाहीये. पुढून काय बोललेला आहे त्याला पण रिस्पॉन्ड करता आलं पाहिजे ना. भाषण देणाऱ्यांचं काय, एकदा बोलायचं आलं की भाषण देऊन निघून जातं. पुढचा ऐकतोय ना ऐकतोय, लाईक आय एम अ स्पोक पर्सन हिअर, आय डोंट नो यू पीपल आर लिस्निंग ऑर नॉट. सो स्पोक पर्सन तर नक्कीच नाहीये. Okay, so let me tell. A is the option. Figurehead, then leader and liaison. Why these 3 options are correct? Interpersonal role, because figurehead means always at front. Manager, if problem happens at that particular shop floor, production manager has to be at front, not a worker or helper, right? So figurehead. So and he has to answer for everything. He has to answer to top management. He has to explain to his employees, to helpers, to workers, right? Then leader, he has to direct all the people. He has to and liaison. पण तो असतो. Everybody is contacting problem. Top management, that manager, what happens, how much work is completed, what is today's report, right? So is here I can say like A option is a correct one. So still if you have a doubt, so we can discuss. So some so very small question: at what level of an organization does a corporate manager operate? म्हणजे थोडक्यात सांगायचं आहे, at what level managers operate? Manager मिडल टॉप कुठल्या लेवलला ते काम करत असतात? फंक्शनल ऑपरेशनल इज सेम, मीन्स ऍक्च्युली वर्कर्स ऑपरेशन ऍक्च्युअल ऑपरेशन दोज आर डुईंग. सो कार्य करणारी लोक फंक्शनल ऑपरेशनल. मिडल लेवल मीन्स लाईक यू कॅन से just administrative level, office person you can say, those are handling document, clerk and accountant, right? And top level means at top level means along with owner, along with CEO, along with directors, it comes under, you may understood like top level managers always work at the top level. कुठं असतात ऑर्गनायझेशन मध्ये? ते टॉप लेवलच्या लोकांबरोबर जास्त असतात. येस, दे आर ऑल्सो हॅव टू हँडल ऍट द बॉटम लेवल, बट ते काय वर्क वगैरे करणारे नसतात मशीनवरती, राईट? सो आन्सर इज ए टॉप लेवल. 10th number, which one is not a recognized key skill of management? मॅनेजमेंट मध्ये कुठलं स्किल नाही? कन्सेप्च्युअल, ह्युमन, technical, writing. Writing skill. So what is the answer? Any guess? Very simple question. Writing skills, right? तुमचं हँड रायटिंग खूप चांगलं आहे, तुम्ही खूप चांगला मेसेज लिहिता, लेखक टाईप, तुम्ही चांगले लेखक आहात, यू राईट व्हेरी ऍक्टिव्ह मेसेज, अट्रॅक्टिव्ह मेसेज. सो there is no role of this writing skills in management, but remaining conceptual, human skills, technical skills are very important. Writing skill तिथं काय आपण ऑथर नाहीत किंवा लेखक कोणी नसते, not required. So this skill is having very less weightage. Next one is that a manager at the first level of management is known as top executive, middle manager, assembly line worker, supervisor. So now here you have to take meaning. First level management म्हणजे टॉप लेवलचं नाही आहे, ते टॉप लेवलचं नाही विचारत मी. आय एम आस्किंग रिलेटेड टू फर्स्ट लेवल मॅनेजमेंट, खालून पहिलं. व्हेरी सिम्पल, राईट? Anybody want to write? No. So simple thing, supervisor. So supervisor is always at the first level of management. So that supervisor is also manager. At first level means immediately after workers, right? Assembly line worker. So those who are handling actually shop floor, so are called as supervisors. So these are the first level managers. Supervisors are focused on option A, day-to-day problems and goals to be achieved in 1 year or less, trying to get entire organization to meet its goals, long range goals extending over several years, themselves only are not concerned with organizational goal. Friends, supervisor is there actually doing at shop floor. He is always looking for day-to-day activities, and for 1 year or less than that, he is focusing on that only. Yes, he is working for organization, but he is not thinking about whole organization. Supervisor is always thinking, yes, 10 workers, 10 machineries, 100 jobs, day to day target, right? And hardly he will think for 1 year. एवढ्या वर्षात एवढं लागणार आहे, एवढं मटेरियल लागेल. So he is having limited thinking, you can say. So he thinks day to day problems and solution of it. In short, you can say. So option is A. Very simple questions here onwards. Planning, leading, organizing, controlling. We have seen functions of manager. So easily you can answer. So first, deciding on the department's goal and how to meet them. In advance, for future you are deciding. So that answer is always planning. Okay. Whenever question is like that, so answer is planning, but wording they have made separate. A different wording they are making. Answer कधी असणार? Deciding something in advance for future, for achieving future goals. Answer is a planning. Another one is also very simple question. Anandi, the supervisor, had to prepare budget for her department, showing all future expenditure. She has to show in budget काय लागणार आहे भविष्यामध्ये, how much expenditure is required. She is preparing budget. The process of preparing departmental budget is an example of which type of function? Management function. So a few minutes back I have told answer will be planning, because Anandi is supervisor and she is preparing budget for showing future expenditure. किती लागणार आहे भविष्यात एक्सपेंडिचर, त्याचं ते बजेट बनवते. So budget is also comes under the planning, nothing else. Then next, supervisor Rani is the supervisor of the parts department at the car dealership. She is a supervisor at car dealership, and her responsibilities are scheduling who is supposed to work, when her subordinates are to work, who should do the ordering, and who should help her with counting the inventory. कोण मदत करेल? So she is having such a responsibilities. These responsibilities are example of what type of management function? So any guess? So friends, we have seen is giving responsibilities. So this supervisor is at car dealership, right? She is working at car dealership, and she is having responsibility of who should work what, who should work at what department. So that kind of work she is having, allocating the duty. So she is organizing. So that function of manager is a organizing. She is just organizing. She is not doing any kind of task. She is not planning anything. She is just asking who has to work at what department, who should do ordering, and who should count the inventories. ती फक्त कामच सांगायला आहे. Alright, so this supervisor, that function is a organizing function. We have 2-3 questions again. The activities involved in identifying, hiring, and developing the necessary number of quality employee. So now recruitment of people. कुठलं फंक्शन असणार आहे? Staffing. Staffing means recruiting or HR's role. Very simple. Those who understood the functions of manager, they can easily answer such a questions. Now, second last question. Influencing employees to act or not to act in certain ways in a part of the managerial function called as. इथं काय सांगितलेलं? Influencing the employees. Who is able to influence employees? Leaders, right? So leading is the function here. With the help of leading function, you can influence the employee. तुम्ही परिणाम करू शकता त्यांच्यावर, तुम्ही त्यांना मोटिवेट करू शकता, right? So leading is the answer. Then monitoring performance and making needed corrections is the management function. कोणाचं काम आहे? कुठलं फंक्शन आहे मॅनेजमेंटचं? Controlling is nothing but monitoring the performance. करतायत का नाही व्यवस्थित आहे. So controlling is the management function for this. Then second last question, higher level managers usually spend most of their time कुठं करतात higher level ची लोक? लीडिंग वगैरे करतात का? काम वाटून देतात? नो. व्हॉट दे डू, हायर लेवल पीपल ऑलवेज प्लॅन अँड ऑर्गनाइज. काय करतात? प्लॅनिंग अँड ऑर्गनायझिंग. ते काय कंट्रोलिंग म्हणजे ते काय मॉनिटर करत नाहीत, काम करतायत नाही करतायत, मोटिवेशन वगैरे नाही. प्लॅनिंग अँड गिव्हिंग द टास्क अँड एक्सपेक्टिंग रिझल्ट. So higher level answer, what is the answer here? Higher level manager usually spend most of the time on planning and organizing. So answer is a B. And last question, which of the following is not an element of management process? म्हणजे मॅनेजमेंटचं फंक्शन कुठलं नाहीये. स्टाफिंग, प्लॅनिंग, कंट्रोलिंग आहे. प्राइसिंग इज नॉट अ आन्सर. Pricing is not a management function. Getting? So I have discussed 20 questions for you. So every unit there will be 20 questions. Anything anybody want to ask? Have you understood all MCQs? Because tomorrow is the IS UTV. Remember on unit number 1. Once again I am announcing, I will drop the link in our group. You people have to write the test within 1 hour, and remember this performance will be counted for term work, as all of you knows. Getting? So please remember such a discussion and try to write proper answers. So I hope you will put roll numbers in chat box and leave the meeting. Again I am announcing, tomorrow will be UT. Whenever our lecture is there, IQM lecture is there, that time you people have to write. I will drop the link. Okay, there you have to write. Again I am telling, this performance will be counted for your term work. That's why write carefully. Yes, Swapnil, anything you want to ask? If you have done, please quit the meeting. Join next lecture.